Hi everyone, I hope you guys are all well. It's been a couple of weeks since I last did a video, mainly because the book I've been reading, I only finished it a few days ago, but then very annoyingly, my extension lead that I used for my laptop broke, so I had to order a new one, which arrived in the middle of yesterday afternoon, and currently my laptop table, because I've been distracting myself with other hobbies and such to do around the house, other things to do, currently has a 1,000 piece jigsaw puzzle on it at the moment, which I'm still putting together. So it was a case of that table isn't of use. I had a broken extension lead and I was like, oh my god. So I've had to pull out my tiny laptop table that I have, but it's designed for like when you know, in bed or something, so it'll sit on your lap. So this is why I've had to sit on the floor instead of sat on the sofa as I usually do. So it's a new angle of my living room, and the lighting is really quite rubbish outside. So because of that, the lighting down here on the floor is even worse. So I've had to put on all the lights in order to, you know, you can actually see my face. Yes, but yeah, I look a mess anyway, so I suppose maybe it would be better if you wouldn't be able to see me. I don't know. What's been going on? Well, I've been working from home, obviously, just as I was before. It's now been 3 weeks. I've been in my house all on my own. It's been tough, I'm not going to lie. Especially this week. This week has been exceptionally stressful with work, and usually I have that thing that work is in my office and home is my safe place where I can, you know, not even think about it. But when your home and your workspace is in the same spot and you can't go out because of the coronavirus and everything, it has really meant that I've been really stressed out of my head this week. So much so I actually took the afternoon off yesterday because I needed some breathing space, and it helped so much. I got a really good night. I slept for over 8 hours last night, and the night before that I think it might have been maybe 6 maximum. And even then I was waking up every hour or so, tossing and turning and all that lot. So yeah, so I'm feeling so much better. So this is why I'm doing this video. I'm feeling yeah, if I was still in the same headspace this morning, should I say, then I probably wouldn't have filmed this until tomorrow. But anyway, enough of me. That's like 3 minutes and I've just been going on about myself. So let's talk about what I have been reading for the past 2 weeks, and that is Black-Eyed Susans. Now, this is a book that was given to me by my mum. She was sort of having a clear out of books, and she gave me this along with Sharp Objects, which is the next book I'm going to be reading. And I hadn't read anything by this author before. Julia Heaberlin. I'm not sure how to say her name. But from Julia. It's the first book I've ever read of hers. I think this might actually be her debut book. I'm not entirely certain. Oh no, it's not. Also, it says Plain Dead and Lie Still by the same author. So okay, so this is like her third book. So I didn't know anything about her writing. I didn't know anything about this book apart from the blurb on the back. And yeah, I was like, okay, let's see how we go with this. And quite frankly, I wish I'd never read it. I really wish I'd never read it. I don't understand, quite frankly, how this got published. I am that irked by it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she is, you know, a terrible writer. She should never have a writing career or anything like that. No, it is promising, but it kind of felt completely wrong, or at least it did to me. So what this is about is a woman called Tessa, who, when she was 17 years old, she was attacked, and an attempted murder was made on her, and she was left to die in a pit with loads of other dead girls. She was put in this pit right after a girl called Mary Sullivan, who the coroners already figured out she'd been dead for about a day by the point that she was put in this pit and left for dead. And it's her adult self is looking into the case because it's believed the person who was convicted for the crime wasn't the actual killer, and they are due to be executed in 3 weeks. And she's working with this woman who her sole career is to free people who have been convicted wrongly for crimes. So she's investigating kind of what happened to her and everything. And what has triggered it is that somebody has been leaving black-eyed Susans, which are a type of yellow flower, which the case was dubbed Black-eyed Susan case because the flowers were around where they were, the pit and everything where they were found. Someone has been planting them outside her house. And it was a detail, there was a specific detail, is like, well, how could anybody know about that other than the killer? So this is what leads her to look into the case and figure out what exactly happened. Now, I absolutely hated the structure of this book. It pissed me off so much. So how it is structured is that the chapters alternates between adult Tessa and young Tessa. And young Tessa is referred to as Tessie. So we've got Tessa and Tessie, and the chapters just go Tessa, Tessie, Tessa, Tessie, Tessa, Tessie, all the way to the very, very end. It was a case of like you had 5 chapters of Tessa, and then you have a chapter of Tessie. So then you get the flashback thing. I think that would have worked so much better, but this alternating was just odd. And when you combine it with the confusion of things are not what they seem, people are not what they seem, things you are being told, it's an unreliable narrator, so things you're being told aren't exactly, not necessarily real, people you're encountering are not necessarily real, and all this lot, it just made me more and more frustrated as I read it. The actual character of Tessa and Tessie are just so lacking in personality. I didn't like this main character, and I had to go through the entire book with them. I didn't want to give up on this because I was thinking, well, I already had an issue, obviously, with the book earlier this year, and I was just a bit like, no, I don't want another one already. But also, I think because I had such a stressful week at work, I wanted a distraction, and I chose this book to be my distraction. So I was like, no, I'm not giving up on this. I'm going to get through it, and I got through it, and I felt like I'd pretty much wasted my time, if I'm honest. Tessie, this 17-year-old, God, she is so annoying. She isn't, right, when we meet Tessie, it's 11 months after she was attacked, brutally attacked and left for dead. She has developed it's a psychological condition. I cannot for the life of me remember what the name is because it had a really funny name. That should make it more memorable, not in my head. Where it's a condition that actually makes you go blind because your mind is trying to block you from remembering and seeing those images from your past or past event, traumatic event. So it actually causes you to go blind. So she's gone blind. She hates her therapist. She teases her therapist to the point that her therapist has got a missing child, and that's why she goes to that therapist, because her father thought, oh, this is actually a really good, thing to do, a good connection, as it were, of traumatic event, and will ease the, therapeutic process. She, at one point, whilst blind, draws a picture of the therapist's missing child and gives it to him. Why would you do that? Like, I I was just like, I felt like I wanted to slap her. I honest to God did. I was so frustrated with her. And then adult Tessa, she is much better than her younger self. But at the same time, I was just a bit like, she's not emotionless, but it kind of feels like she's just void. She's beige. She's nothing. She's just a human with nothing else to her. She has a teenage daughter who she's trying to protect, which I thought was a really great thing to play with, because obviously she was about the same age when she was attacked and left for dead, and they have this routine of steps that her daughter has to do each day to let her know where her mum is and everything, and codes for burglar alarm, all that kind of stuff, which you can understand. And I thought that was a really good thing to have to play with. But the rest of her personality, she's just so bland, and it felt a little like the writing wasn't dark enough. If you were writing a serial killer who has killed girls, buried them, dug up their bodies, put them in a pit, then got more girls and killed them, and one of these girls is the lone survivor, Tessa, of all this, I expected it to be really bleak and really psychologically thrilling, and it wasn't. It felt a little fluffy at times. I mean, like, I just want to read a little passage of this. So this is Tessa, our modern day Tessa, who is watching the Susans be exhumed because of the investigation. There's things that they want to do, testing on the bodies, so they've had to exhume the graves of the girls, and Tessa is watching it. So technically this is their third grave. The two Susans being exhumed tonight in St. Mary's Cemetery in Fort Worth were his older kills, dug up from their first hiding place and tossed in that field with me like chicken bones. 4 of us in all, dumped in the same trip. I was thrown on top with a girl called Mary Sullivan, who the coroner determined had been dead for more than a day. I overheard Granddaddy mutter to my father, the devil was cleaning out his closets. It's midnight and I'm at least 300 feet away under a tree. I've darted under the police tape that marks off the site. I wonder who the hell they think is walking in a cemetery at this time of night but ghosts. Well, I guess I am. They've erected a white tent over the 2 graves and it glows with pale light like a paper lantern. There are far more people here than I expected. Bill, of course. I recognise the district attorney from his picture in the paper. There's a balding man beside him in an ill-fitting suit. At least 5 policemen and another 5 human beings dressed like aliens in Trevitz suits wandering in and out of the tent. I know that the medical examiner is among them. Careers ride on this one. Did the reporter who wrote Angie's obituary know that his words would pry loose the rusty lever of justice, create a small public outcry in a state that executes men monthly, change a judge's mind about exhuming the bones and considering a new trial, convince me as one and for all to dial the phone? The man in the suit suddenly pivots. I catch a flash of a priest's collar before I duck behind a tree. My eyes sting for a second, stuck in by this furtive operation, and the supreme effort to treat these girls with dignity and respect when no one has a clue who they are, when there is no reporter in sight. So to me, that is pretty dark and stuff, but it kind of felt like, so just that passage alone, you're starting off on the emphasis on the girls that are being dug up, right? Then you shift everything to you, and the girls then get lost in the rest of the chat. It just, I got frustrated with this book from time to time. I mean, you could say that what I've just read out, I'm seeing it in the wrong way, but I couldn't help but feel that as I was reading this book. And the more it went on, the more and more frustrated I got. The more and more I couldn't stand Tessa. I just kind of felt it was awkward, it was harsh on certain elements. I hated the structuring. It was just a massive no in my head. I couldn't understand why there's a sticker that says Thriller of the Year on it. It just didn't work. And I will say, the twist that happens near the end of the book, I was like, to be honest, I was just like, oh, okay, right. So basically everything that I've kind of read just isn't valid anymore. What, like, it was so wrong on so many levels for me. And so I was very happy when I finished this book 2 days ago. I haven't started the next book in my list yet because I was like, I needed a break for a couple of days. And thus I got out Clickstore and I've used my laptop tables. I've had to use this one for this video. But it just, my brain was like, no on so many things about this book. I really don't. Would I read this again? No. Would I read any more of Julia's work? No. Would I recommend this to anyone? No. Honest to God. I got through it because I needed the distraction. But if this whole coronavirus thing wasn't happening, and so I didn't need to be distracted, I probably would have thrown this across the room after day one, if I'm honest. Look, the text on it is massive, so you can get through it very quickly. But yeah, computer says no. Or as my sister would say, computer says absolutely fucking not. So yeah. So my thoughts on Black-Eyed Susans. There's not been an adaptation of this or anything that I'm aware of. I'm not surprised, to be honest. And yeah, so it was a bad book to read at a time where, you know, I needed a distraction, but I've gotten through it. It's done now, and I can start on Sharp Objects, which I'm actually quite excited to read and watch the TV series of. So it might be 2 weeks again, just because I really want to watch the TV series after I finish reading the book, but it depends on when I finish reading the book. Hopefully it won't be too long. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on Black-Eyed Susan. Have you read this book? I'd love to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comments box below, or give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, entirely up to you, I'll let you decide. And I'll be back with my thoughts on Sharp Objects as soon as I am done. And yeah, I hope you guys are all okay and everything, and with all the craziness that is going on. I'm going to go out for a walk today. I haven't, because it's been so cold. It's been really quite, you know, because last week it was so lovely. I was sitting out in my garden a few times a day, every day, and this week I haven't been able to because I've been cold, I've been stressed, I've been so tired after work. So today I'm going to go for a walk to the shop. I'm going to buy some yogurt, because I'm out of yogurt, and I have yogurt every day for breakfast, so I'm gonna have like no breakfasts. But to get some fresh air, I think I desperately need it. And then when I come back, I'm gonna upload this video, and hopefully with my really slow broadband it won't take too long, but we'll see how we go. But anyway, I'll be back when I'm back, and if you've got any suggestions for videos you want me to do, please send them my way, because I really like to do, this is actually really good distraction from everything that's going on. So if you've got suggestions for a video, please let me know, put it in the comments, and I will get round to filming it as soon as possible. Alright guys, bye.